And hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Code X podcast. As usual, I'm your host, Sonny Kruger, and joining me today are my two co-hosts, Jamie Wojcik and Tim Morse.
How's it going, ladies and gentlemen?
Tim finally figured out how technology works.
Somehow, some way.
Yes, he's not delayed on his voice anymore.
Not today.
He was like, "Hi."
Yeah. And then
Yes.
last week, like you said, me and Tim were trying to get the episode going. I'm like, I cannot hear you.
Sometimes you just have to go old school.
Yes, but I hear you guys. I see you guys. We're all here, and we're ready to review Titans Hunt at the end of the show. We also have our topic of the week, which is which horror-themed comic needs its own movie or series. We'll also have another round of Do You Know? This time it'll be the three of us again. And, of course, we will start the show off with our comic book news. And, Tim, you have that super-duper huge major Spawn news that we had to wait for last week.
Yeah, so Todd McFarlane made us wait a whole week to tell us that he's not writing the movie anymore, that he's got new writers from Joker and Captain America 4, and we'll get into that. So this is from the Hollywood Reporter. This is written by Aaron Couch. And Scott Silver, Malcolm Spielman, and rising screenwriter Matt Mixon are penning a new script for the film, which still has Jamie Foxx attached to star. So there's not a whole lot more to go into besides saying that Scott Silver was one of Joker's writers, and Malcolm Spellman was one of the writers on Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and rising scribe Matt Mixon. They're all teaming up together to create a new script for Spawn, which has been in development for the past 5 years. Jamie Foxx remains attached to star as the anti-hero who we will barely see, who was first introduced in comics in 1992 with McFarlane among the film's producers. So there you go. Same news as yesterday. Jamie Foxx is still attached. He still believes in the script that now has to be rewritten because Todd's not going to do it, but Blumhouse is going to put it out, which has me very excited. Their horror films that they put out are really good, top notch. And with Spawn at Blumhouse, I have a feeling that it's going to be something good. And with these writers that are attached to the script, hopefully between the three of them and Todd not meddling too much, we can get a really awesome script out of this. Kind of excited for it, but we've got another 5 years to wait because that's how long Todd fathered.
Yes,
Yeah.
my favorite part of that whole spiel that he came out with, and it made me laugh so hard, is he announced everybody, and then he goes, "Yeah, and maybe next year we could talk about being finally in pre-production."
Oh.
I think he still wants to direct, but that'll probably change, which I think would be a good idea. Get somebody in there that really knows how to do the type of horror that he wants to do. Let John Carpenter do it. Hell, let him take it over.
Right.
But
As long as we don't get
yeah.
like Jamie Foxx dancing like Joaquin Phoenix from the Joker, like doing like the thing, I'd be okay with it.
Yeah. Sonny, how do you feel about this?
Well, like, it seems like, we found out about it, like, just after, we were like, okay, we're going to talk about it. And then he said, tomorrow we'll find out. So we said, good, we'll get to talk about it in the show. And then the day came,
Nothing.
oh, it's going to be delayed again. And then it was about the writers. And you guys pretty much touched on everything. And yeah, it's going to be a long time of waiting. It's like, I'll try not to get too excited for the film because, like we said, it's going to be like 5 years from now. And then a year from now, hey guys, I have a big announcement. And then 2 weeks later, we have a few new extras that have joined the cast for 2-second scenes. And then another month for, hey, we switched out one of the writers. Yeah.
Right. It makes me wonder whose decision it was to bring on the writers. Was it Blumhouse's decision or was it Todd's decision to do it? That makes me very curious because at the beginning, he was very adamant. I'm going to write it. I'm going to direct it. It's going to be a 5-hour film. We're going to get everything in there that I want to get in there and nobody's going to make me change. Well, now we've got a bunch of
It won't be
Yeah.
5 hours.
No,
anyway.
Jamie Foxx has been attached to this thing for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Like the moment they said, "Oh, we're doing a new Spawn movie," Jamie Foxx was like the first casting. And it's just
Yeah.
and I know they're doing like a spinoff with
Sam and
Yeah,
Twitch,
Sam and Twitch. I forgot. Jeremy Renner's playing Twitch.
not Jared Leto.
No, not but he I know he was doing that, so I'm wondering if they're incorporating him into the movie as well.
That's a good question.
You
I
know,
don't
or is this just like a Elseworlds kind of thing, like a Gotham for Spawn? And that's one of the things. Like, I don't know. It to me, Todd can do about everything that he puts his mind to, but once he starts getting too much, he's like, no, not doing it anymore. I mean, he doesn't even really write Spawn anymore or draw it.
Right.
I mean, we've had so many other people come into play for that. You know, it's just you knew this was coming, but you just didn't know in what capacity.
Exactly.
Everyone.
I think it's good news. Good news for the movie and its in and of itself, and with those writers attached to it, good things can come out of that.
But there's also bad things that
so.
can come out of certain areas in life, especially when you're stealing. But Ray Buffer, for anyone that doesn't know, allegedly got caught stealing comic books from a San Diego comic shop. Now, for those of you who do not know who Ray Buffer is, I didn't either, so don't worry about it. Sonny had to give me an idea. He is a small-time actor. He's been in a couple minute things, but he claims it's alleged that he was stealing comics, and you can clearly see in the video of him like
that could have been meats or sausages from another store that he was just carrying in such a way that they looked like comic books.
No.
Come on.
And he dropped it in the comic. It was, oh yeah, it's back there. Got to go back there. Put it in under my shirt or in my underwear. You know,
like
and then, how dare this lady come up to me and say, "Hey, put that back, or I'll call the police."
Right. Like how? First off, comics are not going to be easy to steal. They're square and they have points. So if you try to put them under your clothes or anything like that, it's going to stick out. Just letting everybody know right now. I just don't understand how you can go by just stealing comics. Like I can understand other things, but it's like, you know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to commit a crime. And you know what that crime is?
Yeah.
Comic book theft.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get them, and they were mid-priced books too. They weren't dollar bin things. They were like $30-$40 books, right?
It was something. It was along those lines, but they were still in the back issue bins. But it's just funny to me how people just seem to think that, you know, there's no other outlet. We have so many different like medias you can use now to read comics, and you're gonna go and steal $30, $40, $100 when you could just buy the whole digital platform for the year for that amount.
If he's as legendary an actor as he says he is, he could have just bought those issues, no problem.
Sonny, how do you feel about this with extra work?
So when I was looking that up, if for him being an actor, right, he has little parts. I see let's say in Curb Your Enthusiasm. I watched Curb Your Enthusiasm. He had a quick part, right, a couple lines, but no major parts in any series. So I'm like, okay, he's making pretty good money, right? He's obviously not making money like Brad Pitt or anybody, but
like hand over
but making
fist.
more than, like I said, extras. So he's got some money to him, but then also I'm sure he wants to eventually get to bigger roles where you would think of, especially the day and age now with social media, why would you want a chance even stealing for a comic book where, you know, if I get caught, places have security cameras, this would be put online. Who's going to want to hire him now? It's not like he's this, oh man, he's Mel Gibson. He's been in some trouble, but he's still Mel Gibson. It's like, no, not many people can be like, man, we have to hire Ray Buffer. They just
darn it, Ray. Why did you have to do this? Why did you have to commit such a crime?
Yeah,
right. It just makes no sense to me in that case. I mean, you have no reason to anymore. Like, really, if you want to read something, you literally have it at the touch of your fingers now. And what, because you want it physically? Well, save up a couple, bucks or residuals that you get from previous shows that you were on. Like, stealing is not the way. We do not condone that here at all. So don't steal.
As tempting as it may be, you may see these comics and think, oh man, it's so awesome. I wish I had that. Don't steal it. It's not the way to go.
It's worth so much more if you Save your money and get it.
But like we were talking about with the whole extra work thing. Sonny, are you going to be in Ironheart?
Let's hope so, because Ironheart, there was talk of, in this Screen Magazine where there was an interview about me on there. Screen Magazine, I remember when, if you look up that interview with a director named Sonny Kruger on Screen Magazine, always if you scroll to the bottom, it kept talking about Ironheart is filming June 20th. So obviously,
Let's look really interested, Jamie,
Yeah.
while Sonny talks about himself.
yes, eyes open, guys, to see even more. Yes, there you go, Tim. There you go, eyes open.
Am I
So-
taking good direction?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Jamie is now falling asleep.
Ironheart is set to film. It's like June 20th. And then suddenly, obviously, June 20th is passed. And now they're saying Ironheart will film in Chicago October 24th through the end of the month. So literally all the talk about it is it'll film for about a week in Chicago. And most of its filming will be
Wow.
done in Atlanta. So I don't really know if I'll be I have not gotten any availability checks to see if I'll be working on it. But I'll let you guys know.
Sonny, is Marvel above you at this point in your career?
Am I above Marvel? Yeah, I think I would. I would. Give
That
them
wasn't the question.
I would give them a chance. Yeah, I would.
See how the ego just took over?
A lot of people, some of the
Mr.
older
Kruger,
actors are
we
above
need you
superhero movies.
We need you in the background of this particular scene. Just you, no one else. Will you do this?
You know what? I don't know.
Let me check my schedule. Is it a Wednesday?
Yeah, we have to see.
Yeah, I can't do it on a
Wednesday. I have a podcast that day.
And then every other Tuesday. So
yeah, sometimes Tuesdays. Well, it's only 1 week, so
yeah.
How about Friday brunch? Can we sit down for Friday
I'm
brunch?
I'm waking up for breakfast at that time.
I don't do brunch.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Tim, you already know this. You know I wake up very late. And
yeah. He's like, even today, he's like, I'm gonna be 10 minutes late. I was like, he had to put on his face.
Wow.
Yes, got a pit on the face, and as other shows already know, I'm not willing to shave the beard just yet.
Yeah,
that's right. So, got to have your standards.
Yeah, sometimes.
So, yeah, no, but I will work for my money, and the comics I want and I get, I buy. I don't steal.
That's right.
But we'll postpone that talk for later because there were some big announcements of movies being postponed from Marvel.
Take it away, Tim.
So let's go ahead and get into the bad news. Blade, along with other Marvel projects at this point in time, have been postponed. And that includes Deadpool 3, Fantastic Four, and Avengers. They get bumped as they have to search, at least in part on Blade's reason why, for a new director for Blade. So this article comes from CNET, and it was written by Richard Trenholm, and he goes on to say, bad news if you're staking your heart, nice play on words there, buddy, on Blade's return to the big screen. Marvel has officially postponed the vampire-themed movie after the director dropped out last month. So now that puts Blade to arrive sometime in September of 2024. And in addition to that, Deadpool 3, Fantastic Four, and Avengers Secret Wars, like I said just a moment ago, are also postponed. So let me go ahead and give you those dates. So Blade, previously dated for November 3rd of next year, moves to September 6th of 2024. Deadpool 3, previously dated for September 6th of 2024, moves a couple months down the road to November 8th of the same year. And Fantastic Four, which was set for November 8th of 2024, moves to February 14th, Valentine's Day for all you lovebirds out there, of 2025. Avengers Secret Wars goes to May 1st of 2026, and another two untitled Marvel films. One was on February 14th of 2025, moves to November 7th of the same year. And the other, which was on May 1st, is completely removed from the schedule. So there we have it. I know the actor, and I'm not even going to try and say his name because I will mispronounce it and I will feel bad. Yes,
Mahershala Ali.
Exactly. I know he's showing frustration with pauses and breaks, and now got to restructure, find a director, and I understand that. but he seems like the type of actor that can get committed to a role and stick with it and push through some of these trials and tribulations. Find a good director. Blade's a great movie, and if you haven't seen Werewolf by Night, watch it, because it sets stuff like that up. And bringing in a good director for Blade, you can bring characters like Elsa Bloodstone and Man-Thing and Werewolf by Night and Moon Knight even into the mix of Blade's story or whatever it may be. As far as the other movies go, they're so early in pre-production that doesn't really matter, and that gives them just more time to make great movies even better.
Yeah. So, what I was reading about that was also that the studio had originally hired Stacy Aussie Coffer from HBO's Watchmen to write Blade's screenplay, and then after several rewrites, they said now it's turned into now it says that the writer is being credited as Bayu DeMaio, who has previously worked on The Witcher and Star Trek Strange New Worlds. And DeMaio,
Hey, Strange New Worlds was amazing, so any writer from there will do a good job.
that's good. Because he's so far set to be writing for the new Blade movie, and also said aside from he penned an episode of Moon Knight, and also he is the head writer for the X-Men '97 animated series. So I'm really hoping he's a good writer. Yeah,
Nice.
he's got his work ahead of him. And good luck to him,
Yeah.
because I want all those shows to succeed. X-Men and the Blade movie. We want them to be good, and I will direct it if they want me to. Remember, guys, I'm an award winner.
Yeah, we know.
Amy, what do you think about Blade?
Well, with Blade, I'm not worried about because of the fact that we kind of got from what we were told, him talking at the end of Eternals when Black Knight first saw the sword, and it just doesn't resonate really right now with me because of the fact that everything happened so fast. If you listen to Kevin Feige's interview when he approached him about Blade, he literally just walked into his office. He's like, "I'm Blade," and Kevin Feige's like, "Yeah, you are. Yeah,
Okay.
we're good. Okay, guys, can we get this ready? Like, good to go." And then they announced it 2 weeks later, and that was at San Diego, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
2019, right?
Yeah.
Just announced it, yeah.
Yeah. He came out on stage. He came up to me. He's like, "This was 2 weeks ago, and we're announcing it now. Blade will be part, of the MCU, blah, blah." And it just happened so fast that I don't think they had enough time to really sit down and figure out how he's gonna fit correctly.
Right.
Because for anyone who has never seen a Marvel movie or lives under a rock, they all tend somehow to link together in a way. I think what they're trying to do is figure out the right way to link him into it.
And I think Werewolf by Night
Perfect. Yeah.
coming out is a good stepping stone for that, and Moon Knight as well.
Yeah, so I think they need to get a little bit more established before they could just go pushing for Blade in that regard. But with the other movies, I can kind of understand because first off, you're doing Fantastic Four. And you want to get that one right because the last couple times have not been right.
No. And Fantastic Four is more of a priority than Blade would be at this time.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
Cloud Galactus.
Yes, that's what we need. More Cloud Galactus.
But Jane, like you said, that's a pretty cool story how Mahershala Ali just walked in and said, "I'm Blade." So now I know what I need to. Just find all these offices, walk right in. I'm playing long shot.
Done.
Pretend I have 4 fingers.
All right, real fast, guys. Are you guys getting an echo?
A little bit of echo from you, Jamie.
Okay.
I believe.
We can move on. I'm just going
to... Okay. Well, as Jamie fixes that, we can wrap up our comic book news.
Yes.
A lot of stuff was postponed. Some big news wasn't so big. And now we move on to our topic of the week. And like I said, it is October, so it is spooky season, as some would say. So our topic of the week is which horror-themed comic needs its own movie or series. And as usual, Jamie has the top 3 comments of the week from Comic Character of the Day, which I'm a group expert on. I saw that today.
Yeah.
Group expert.
So am I. It's always weird.
So hard to narrow down.
Yeah. But real fast, I want to take care of the echoing issue because I know it's not from my side. I hear it off someone else's. And it's that when everyone talks.
Wait, now I'm not hearing it.
I
No
was
echo.
hearing it.
I was hearing it before, but now I'm not.
Okay, good. Okay, back to the show.
Okay, so no more echoing. And yep, topic of the week: which horror themed comic needs its own movie or series? And Jamie has the top 3 comments from comic character of the day.
Yes, I do. The first one comes from Jet Harrell. I'm going to go hardcore, obscure, long shot, and say Terror Inc., which I think is a great pick.
Ooh, yeah.
David Schuschler Jr., the unexpected, the one-shot stories of the old DC stuff could be made into a show like Tales from the Crypt, maybe put Johnny Peril or Mr. E into the mix. Then we have Bear Reese Geneva. I always get that wrong, probably. So if I got it right, let me know. Midnight Suns, specifically the Rise of and Siege of Darkness arcs.
Yes.
Good picks. Yeah. Well,
And those are the top 3. Like I said, no particular order. If you guys have, you guys want to be a part of it, definitely throw some stuff in Comic Area today when we post our next topic of the week.
Yes, and now we will start with we'll get into our opinions on that. For me, like I said, it was a hard one to narrow down. Like I said, obviously we had some good picks from those who commented, but I narrowed it all the way down to a newer comic book. It goes with horror, it goes with something I love, and that is ice cream. So my pick is Ice Cream Man. Yeah, for those who don't know, Ice Cream Man, he's a character in a different episode. Each issue, which would be like a different episode, would be giving somebody something they think they want, and then obviously it turns into a bit of horror. And things don't turn out so well as people think that it would go. It would be, yeah, I could see it being a good series too. Like I said, each episode, whoever plays the Ice Cream Man would be the one person who's in every episode. And each episode, you could have many big guest stars if they're only going to be in one episode each. So I think Ice Cream Man could be a really good show.
From my understanding, that is an immensely popular book right now. Like I know issues on secondary market go for super high numbers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like everybody loves that book.
I've seen so many variants and homages of it. It's insane.
Well, I had a long list of horror-themed comics that need their own movies or series, and all of them hit in different ways. They all make me feel a certain way, or their writers or directors or actors give me emotion in such a way that I can't choose between just one. But I narrowed it down. It was hard to narrow down, but narrow it down I did. And it's not what you think. It's an independent book, and it is Crossed by Garth Ennis. If you guys haven't read that, it is gory, it is horrific, it is terrible in all the worst ways. And yeah, it is highly recommended. The first arc, the first 6 issues, everything after that, that's up to you. But read the first 6 issues. It is something that will sit with you after you're done reading it. Fantastic.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. Crossed.
Jamie,
so this one for me also was hard to narrow down just to this one, because there's 2 that sit in my mind that live rent free, and it's still bothering me right now to choose one over the other. I wish things were easier than, oh God.
Just tie it down.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to make the hard choice and pick, Jamie.
Okay, so if that's the case, I'm going with Something's Killing the Children.
Ooh, how did I know?
Dude, I got good news for you. There's talks of that.
Yeah, no, it's on Netflix.
Ooh.
Nice.
So, okay, we'll use that as a backup, or that we'll use a backup that I had. Then I'm going to go with the Nice House on the Lake, James Tynion, DC Black Label.
I haven't read that yet. Is it worth the read?
It's worth the read. You're like mind screwed the entire time.
Love it.
So it's a good. You remember what was the movie?
Cabin
House
in the
on
Woods?
House on Haunted Hill.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Where they all go, like they get invited to the house and they
Yeah.
don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Kind of same premise, but a whole different outlook.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
So very, very good.
Cool. A lot of good picks. Yeah. So it's always good. I love when we do our topic of the weeks and then I'm like, okay, I know what I want to look into checking out. So yeah, it's a lot of good comics to check out. Again, thank you everybody who commented, and yeah, we will have another topic of the week posted on Comic Character of the Day within the next week. And
Yeah,
who knows,
guys,
maybe
remember,
one we picked.
Comic Character Day is a great group. No toxicity whatsoever. It's worth being in there. We're all in there. Somehow we're experts. I still don't understand it. I say it every week. So
Somebody thinks we're smart enough for it, and we just didn't say no.
no, we didn't have a choice. I woke up one morning. It's like, you're a group expert. I was like, yes, I am.
Okay.
All right, but guys, do you know what time it is?
It's time for Do You Know?
Yes, it is. And this week we're kicking off with SK. It seems like you're doing everything first this week, bud.
Yeah, this is the way it went through. I try each week. I try to see, like, let's say I have their names right, like SKTM JW, and I try to reverse it around. But lately it's been a little mixed up.
Yeah,
It's
it's
been a little
just
mixed up with the
SK
way,
at the beginning of all of them.
Yeah, so this week happens to be me first for many things. Yeah, SK.
Topic of the week, do you know, and review? Okay.
Except for comic news. Tim, I'll
Oh,
let
yeah.
you take away that
That was
major
me.
Spawn news.
The most
Oh,
anticipated
yeah.
news of the month.
Yes. But now we get into our questions for Do You Know? And my first question for you guys, and it goes with the spirit of Halloween. Do you know which two comedians wrote Spider-Man the Short Halloween? You only have to make
two
one of them.
comedians?
We only need one of them.
Yeah.
I will say Patton Oswalt.
That was Patton Oswalt and Kevin Smith.
Good picks. But the actual comedians who wrote Spider-Man the Short Halloween are
Way to
Bill
go, guys, but you're wrong.
Yeah. Nice guesses. Good effort. But the comedians who wrote Spider-Man the Short Halloween are Bill Hader and Seth Meyers.
Ooh, okay.
All right.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
That's a new one. All right. So I think, nope. Me?
No
Yes.
points.
Okay. So, guys, we all know after Blackest Night, there was a range of different lanterns. But do you know what is the name of the planet that the Orange Lantern Larfleeze is from? I can give you I can give you a hint, and this is the hint. Starfire and Blackfire both trained on this planet, become who they were.
Kogar.
Greedoys, I don't know.
It's Okara.
That's what I was going to say next.
Yeah.
Dude, same here, man. Same here. We were thinking the same thing.
I love these now with the shorts because if we get none of them right, all of our shorts are just us not knowing anything.
I'm not sharing until I get it right.
I just didn't want you to feel bad, Sonny, if I said it right and you said it wrong.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Right now, Tim, it's your question.
All right. So, Titans is what we're reviewing this week, specifically Titans Hunt. And this sweet young lady behind me is one of those Titans. So, do you know what the first appearance of Teen Titans was?
Do you need the number or no?
Issue title and number if you can. Issue title will work.
For the Teen Titans?
Teen Titans. First appearance of Teen Titans.
Oh, God.
The Brave and the Bold 54.
Sonny, why are you looking up when you say this?
Yes. No, yeah. I was going to say Brave and the Bold.
Brave and the Bold is correct. Sonny, you are right on the issue number as well. First appearance of Teen Titans, along in the same title that Justice League appeared in, was Brave and the Bold, number 54. Jamie, you're correct, too.
Okay, I was just making sure, because you're like, you got the right number. I'm like, what about me?
Sonny was looking up at his notes.
Yeah, he has everything written. Every time we do a book now, he's got all the first appearances written down.
Yep. I got it, guys. Don't worry. Okay, so I am a big fat 0. Sonny, you're at 1. Jamie, you are at 1.
Okay, guys. So we got 1. So when we repost these, at least this one.
Sonny can share one.
There's one I can share.
There you go.
Okay, guys. Now we're moving a little bit past the Brave and the Bold, but still a while ago. What? Okay. Do you know the 1990? No, wrong. Do you know the 19?
Remember that, Jamie. That might be the answer.
Okay, guys. Do you know the 1971 award-winning Green Lantern, Green Arrow arc with Roy Harper?
It's my sidekick is a junkie.
My ward is a junkie.
That's what I said. My ward is a junkie.
Guys, it is called Snowbirds Don't Fly.
That is not correct.
You have to dispute that with all line. I was making sure I looked at multiple places to see that was the
Jamie, I was waiting for you to answer it, and I was like, Jamie knows this. Jamie,
Yeah,
you answer first, and then I will.
All I heard was Jamie answer, and then everything went array. All right.
Yes, guys.
Is a junkie.
Yeah. Snowbirds Don't Fly. We actually won the Shazam Award for Best Individual Story. And the New York mayor at the time, John Lindsay, wrote a letter to DC congratulating and commending the story.
It's a major story in DC Comics history and comics history as a whole.
Yeah. All right. So we all know that Black Adam is coming out here shortly.
Mm-hmm.
So my question has to do with Shazam. So guys, do you know what is the name of Shazam's pet tiger?
Who would know that?
He's a primary character in all of Shazam comics.
Stripes. That's his name.
You said his pet tiger?
Yeah.
Sonny, we need to up, buddy.
He even makes an appearance in the movie.
Oh, I'll say Kazam.
Okay. Talkie Tawny.
Exactly.
Yeah. I feel so bad for you guys because he even was in there, like when the mom leaves him.
Yeah.
The tiger that they see, it says it right in the front, Talkie Tawny.
Wow.
If only you were giving me that question a few years ago.
Yeah, right.
And the movie was fresh on my mind.
Well, all right. Let's go back to question number 1, which is fresh on your mind. So Wonder Girl, this woman right behind me, is part of the Teen Titans, right? Yeah. So what was her first appearance? Do you guys know that?
Ooh.
Now I need issue number this time.
Oh, it is, I'm going to say Wonder Woman 78.
I'm going to go with...
Hands up, Sonny.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I won't look up either. The Brave and the Bold 64.
Sonny, title is correct. Issue number is wrong. It is Brave and the Bold number 60. It is also the issue where the team that became the Teen Titans officially adopted the name Teen Titans.
If only we were doing half points.
Yes.
No.
No half points for you.
If only
Not
this was
today.
back in the day. Okay. So we are on to round number 3.
Yes.
My last question for you guys is, well, we know Mel Duncan is a part of this story, a very big part of Titans Hunt. And we know he plays many instruments. So, do you know the name of the horn that Mel Duncan used that blew up in his face before?
Oh my God.
The Horn of Awesomeness. I don't know.
That's easy. That it's an easy one. It's Dan Cassidy. I want to go with an American name.
Well, guys, you might. I guess the name could kind of be considered American, but it's a very popular name. The name of the horn is the Gabriel horn.
Okay.
Yep, blew up in his face before he ended up joining another team.
Okay.
Dear God, man. Okay.
1 point for you,
Tigers
Sonny.
and horns and all these questions today.
I got 0 points. Jamie and Sonny each got 1. We're on third question. Let's get me a point, guys.
All right. So we all know Joker has had sidekicks from Harley Quinn to Punchline but can you tell me, and do you know, what was the first sidekick Joker actually had in comics?
What does this have to do with Titans Hunt?
Absolutely nothing, because I don't want you guys to get the questions right.
Was it Joker's daughter? That's what I'm going to go with, is Joker's daughter.
His first sidekick.
I'll give you a hint because I'm so nice. It was in the 1970s.
Yeah, that's what I'm sticking with. Joker's daughter.
I will go with Penguin.
No. There was two names you could have given me. They both would have worked. It was Gaggy the Clown or Gaggy Gagsworthy.
He was in
Both great names.
Was he in Three Jokers? Gaggy, I think Gaggy was.
Gaggy
Yes.
was.
Gaggy was in there.
Hey,
Now I
weren't
remember
you a
the little kid.
sidekick of the Joker? Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
Gaggy was the first sidekick of the Joker. Well, there we go.
Yeah. He appeared in he appeared in 2 issues and then they stopped him.
That was the
no
end
surprise.
Of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so my last question. I'm out as far as points go, but one of you can get this right and win this session of Do You Know? So, sticking with Titans and team members, Cyborg is a member of Titans. And do you know what issue Cyborg joins the new Teen Titans officially?
42.
I'll say
Of what?
The new Teen Titans.
Okay.
I would say the new Teen Titans 32.
No, both of you are wrong. It is
Good.
DC Comics Presents number 26, and it is also Cyborg's first appearance and the first appearance of the new Teen Titans before they got their own ongoing series.
I hate Cyborg, so I don't like.
Okay, well, there you go. It's a tie this week. I have Big Fat Zero. Sonny and Jamie, you both have 1. Enjoy your tie.
I was 4 off from winning. Well, there you go. Always fun doing Do You Know? And hey, we always learn with these. So that is one thing we will. I will always remember Gaggy was Joker's first sidekick.
Yeah. Weren't you a sidekick before? Yeah, we don't talk about those things.
Right.
But now Do You Know is in the books. We will be done talking about Gaggy, and we will move on to our review of Titans Hunt. Tim, would you like to start us off with the credits, as you usually do?
Yeah, so Titans Hunt, it's an 8-issue series, and it was written by Dan Abnett. Art and inks go to a plethora of people. Paulo Siqueira and Geraldo Borges, Steven Segovia, Jackson Herbert, and that's over multiple issues. Artwork and inks trade off as the issues go on. Colors are by Hi-Fi, and letters go to Carlos M. Mangual.
Okay, guys, now we'll start the review off. Now, usually I go through a lot of the issues, but since this is an 8-part issue, an 8-part story arc, I will not be going over each issue by issue.
Mhm.
I just kind of go over it as a whole. So, basically, the Titans, well, the members of the Titans, they do not know who they were back in the day. They don't know how they were connected. So we get multiple storylines. You know, one we get Dick, Donna, and Garth, and they've come across each other, and they're getting in a bit of fights. And then we also see Roy and Narc, who are together, and they eventually come across Hawk and Dove. And Roy also sees Lilith, who was like his therapist. And in another storyline, we also get Mel Duncan and his wife Karen, and Mel has won an award for his singing. So the thing that's going on is everybody, regardless of each storyline, they're all hearing this noise. It's like a scream / a song, and they're all trying to figure out what it is. And eventually, it takes a little while, but we figure out that it is Mr. Twister. He is using Mel to try to get all of the Titans, formerly Teen Titans, to go to him so he can get his powers back and he can bring a being to Earth. Now, I should have mentioned that also Hawk and Dove, the female Dove, Dawn, they eventually come into the storyline, and they come mainly dealing with Roy, Narc, and Lilith. So eventually the characters team up together. They're all brought together by, like I said, Mr. Twister, and that was his plan all along. Now, like I said, I don't want to go over each issue, but overall, the story, I'd say it takes a little while to figure out what's going on. We see everybody Everyone's having their own issues going on. You're trying to figure out what is this noise, who is the villain. Every now and then he's appearing, and about halfway through the story, we find out that it is Mr. Twister, and yeah, we find out what's going on. For me, it took a little while to get to, like I said, what's going on. Why does nobody remember? But once for me, even though it was taking a little while to get to it, I was still enjoying the issue. It's like, okay, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. And then once you find out, okay, it's Mr. Twister, the story really does start to pick up. Especially for me, issue number 6 was my favorite issue, and I said, wow, okay, now it's really jumped up to the next level, and I felt that those last 3 had a lot of the action that if anybody hit, even though the other issues had some action, in the last 3 has like the big major fights and scenes that you're hoping for in the story, and eventually it comes down to a good climax, a good final battle, which is for me very important. And then there's one very last thing at the ending when they say, "But who did Kieran replace?" And then you're kind of like, "N question mark." So that left me a little bit off, but the main thing was that the story was so big and it had a great ending. Like I said, I love the climactic ending. I love that the story was being built, and then when you find out what's going on, it brings you into the great action. For me, I think Titans Hunt is a great story. I recommend it. I especially like seeing the Teen Titans go from Teen Titans to Titans. Especially a great story. I recommend it, and I give Titans Hunt an 8.3.
8.3.
That is what I give it. Tim, how about you?
Okay, so I was pleasantly surprised that this was a new 52 story. And one of the biggest highlights of the story was her costume right there in the center. Yeah, I thought that was amazing. The other 2 costumes are great, but I thought that that was a very good updated version of Donna Troy's costume. One of my favorite parts of the story. So the artwork is good. It's great in spots, but in other spots, it seems rushed or it just did not have enough effort put into it, and that kind of brought me out a little bit. Not much, but just a little. The story takes the time that it needs to develop, which is really good. And I thought 8 issues was not too much or not enough. I thought the whole span of it was great. Every space was filled. It didn't feel like fluff. It was kind of slow, but it was a pleasant pace, and there were lots of new characters for me to discover, like Gnark. I didn't know who he was, and Duncan, Mal Duncan, I didn't know who he was either. So discovering those characters, and Lilith too, those were all new to me. One part that confused me was Alfred was missing a hand. Can that be explained?
That happened from New 52 to Convergence,
Okay.
because I believe the Joker cut it off.
Yeah, because
To
I
report.
saw like Dick is in the Batcave and he's doing his thing, and Alfred comes in and goes in for the hug, and there's this big nub there. I'm like, where did he lose his hand? When did that happen?
Poor Alfred, always losing something,
Right?
including children.
That could have been a do you know question, Jamie. We totally got it wrong.
I really enjoyed the flashback scenes
Mhm.
that went over and gave a modern take on the first appearance of Titans as a whole. And I thought that was really great. The way that it was played out and the way that it was done with Mr. Twister and all that stuff. It was amazing. Another question that I have was when the team came in of metallic cybernetic robot assassins.
Diablo.
Yeah, exactly. To kill everybody. Was that Omega beams shooting out of that dude's car? Because that's how they acted.
Yeah,
Was like Omega beams. It was Omega beams.
it's like almost like him. Yeah, it's
Wow.
essentially.
Okay. So that was cool. I saw that and that was awesome. But anyways, the switch in artists was similar in style, but not a visual shock when going from issue to issue, with the exception of the last issue, because you get so used to the 2 artists, Paulo Sequeira and Steven Segovia, trading off issue 1, issue 2, 3, and 4, so on and so forth. And then they completely disregard all of that work and do a whole separate artist for the last issue of the series. That kind of upset me a little bit. I wish that both of them could have worked together to finish off issue 8 instead of bringing in somebody totally different to do the last issue. I dislike that when companies do that. But overall, more questions than answers, but I want more. I want to read more about Titans in New 52 and into Rebirth and things like that. So overall, writing gets a 7.5. It's very solid story. Like you said, Sonny, it's a book that I'd recommend to anybody to check out. I think it's a highly integral part of the New 52 mythos. And it's something that needs to be read and should be read. Artwork, however, gets a 6.5 for me because, like I said, some parts just seemed like they lacked the amount of effort that other parts had put into them. And that whole switch at the end with a whole nother artist was a little bit of a letdown to me. So overall, the book gets a very solid 7 out of 10.
Nice.
Yep.
And Jamie?
Yeah. So
you picked it.
With this one, it was right out of the back end of New 52, going into Convergence, spinning out of that. And I love the fact that, because what we didn't know at the time is Rebirth was coming in as no one knows who each other is. Like, this is a totally different game. And this book, Green Arrow and the Flash were the only ones really to represent that. But Titans represented it in a way that I didn't think was possible. I love the story throughout, getting a retelling, basically, like Tim said, about the whole Titans, especially with the flashbacks. I do agree with the art. They did change up artists, and it gets really iffy for me when that happens, but I felt like it still flowed pretty well. Overall, the writing, having Mr. Twister as your villain was just phenomenal. Finally seeing him come to fruition was just great to actually see. Now, with this whole book, having Hawk and Dove was a big jumping point for me, because from that point on, they've been a part of them, even in the TV series. And it's been, I just love the fact that they incorporated them into this, because you don't see much of them. But yeah, you guys hit a lot of the major points. I would say the biggest aspect of this book was something Tim kind of said, where this is the first time where 8 issues was enough. Usually we sit there and say, oh, it was 8 issues. I wish it would have went 12. If it was 6 issues, I wish it would have went 8. A little bit more. This one started and ended perfectly for me.
Yeah, it felt right.
Like I said, the artwork, and there could have been better times. There's a couple areas in there where I felt like some dialogue could have been taken away, especially during the flashbacks scenes. Like, there were some parts where it was like, okay, I know it's a retelling, but we don't need the specific details. So overall, especially for this book, I gave it a solid 8 across the board, and I don't ever give solid numbers. So
right on.
So there we go. 7 for Tim, 8 for Jamie, and an 8.3 for me. Very surprising that I'm giving the highest, Tim's giving the lowest.
You two are pretty much right on. It's like little differences between your ratings and stuff. And even though mine is a 7, guys,
it's still good.
That's not a poor rating at all. Poor for me doesn't start until 4.5. That's when things start to get not good.
Yeah.
Well, and
before we jump off, I did want to agree with you guys. And when you were saying it was great to go to the retelling and to Mr. Twister being brought back in, like a great person, not just the typical villain, but like I said, to bring back an old villain that was pretty much forgotten.
Yes. Yeah. And that's why I thought was cool is he was basically forgotten, just like they forgot each other.
Yeah.
So I thought that was great. So we all recommend Titans Hunt. And now we can announce that next week, me and Tim will be reviewing Hearts of Darkness.
Yes.
You boys have fun while Jamie goes and plays.
Yes, Jamie. And we know you will still be busy because you're doing so many things behind the scenes, posting, do you know questions. We gave you quite a few to go over today. So we'll keep you busy with that. And before I do wrap it up, I do want to say that once again, it is Bully Prevention Month. Weird thing, it's already been a year. So everybody dealing with anything, just remember nothing, bad things, they don't last forever. Stay strong, and there is so much beauty in this world. Sometimes it's hard to see with there being many jerks and many bad things and catastrophes going on. but there is still so much beauty to find in this large world. And to those of you who may bully and you think, hey, it's kind of fun to make a joke, maybe it's funny to you for 5 minutes, but maybe you don't realize that the person you're joking with, it doesn't affect them for 5 minutes. It may affect them years down the road. And I like to believe that you're better than that. So that is what I'd like to say before I wrap up the show. And I let these two guys wrap it up better than I do. So take care, everyone.
Jamie, you want to take it or you want me
Yeah.
to?
You can go for it.
All right, guys. Yeah, let me jump off of what Sonny said with Bully Prevention Month. He has more faith in you than I do. No, yeah, be kind to everybody, guys. There's no reason to be a jerk. If you want to be a jerk, go home, think about it for a minute, and then don't do it. Like Sonny said, it is something when you bully somebody that doesn't just last for 5 minutes and go away. Maybe for you, but not for them. I've been a victim of bullying, and that stuff sticks with you. It sticks with you for the rest of your life, and you think about that. And it's not cool. And no, we don't forgive you, and we don't like it, and we don't want to be those people that are cynical and have hate in our hearts like bullies do. So please, guys, think twice before you do something like that. Like Jamie is so wise in saying, you never know what anybody's going through. And sometimes a smile will change everybody's day. Guys, my name is Tim. Over there is Jamie. Down below is Sunny. This is the Codex Station. We are the Codex Podcast. Jamie's going to sign us off with some awesome information on where you can find us. But as always, we will see you next time.
Yes. And guys, if you have not had the chance yet, go check out the codexstation.com, your one-stop shop for everything Codex. Guys, meet the team, talk to us on there, message us, let us know what you like, don't like, even leave comments down below. Let us know. We do this for you every week. Thank you for everybody that's like, share, subscribed. Everything you've done has helped us grow, and it's amazing to see so far. Great communities. Guys, go check out Comic Character Today. Great group, no toxicity whatsoever. Great group of people. We're in there somehow. We're experts. But yeah, guys, as always, be kind to one another out there. Tim kind of stole my line. I said it, but I'm gonna say it anyways. Be kind to one another out there.
It
You never
needs
know
to
what
be
everyone's
said
going.
twice.
You never know what anyone's going through, and even making someone smile could change the course of their day or their life. And as always, we will see you all in next one.
Have a good night, guys.